"You're not a real soldier. You've never even seen combat." Sergeant Keeley didn't shout. He didn't need to. His voice slithered through the air, smug and cruel, poisoning the silence. Laughter followed. Not the kind that invited you in, but the kind that locked you out. Sharp, ugly. Cadet Blake didn't react. She stood there, still, silent, fists curled so tight her knuckles went bone white. She didn't answer, not when they spat the word paper soldier. Not when they trashed her locker, replaced her rations with garbage, or erased her from the drill roster like she was a clerical error. She just kept showing up. First to the track, last to leave the range. Every day, silent, brutal perfection. And every night she lay on the cold floor beside her cot, eyes wide open as if the war hadn't ended. No one asked why. No one dared. They saw what they wanted. Clean boots, no combat patch. Too quiet, too polished. So they wrote her off. What they didn't see? The 5 tally marks burned into her wrist, not tattooed, branded, not for decoration, for memory. It was inspection day. Major Donovan stalked the perimeter like a predator, barking orders and snapping names like rifle fire. Discipline, precision, chain of command. Then he stopped, right in front of her. Keeley leaned in, smug as ever. "Sir, I think she's allergic to dirt." Might be all the time she spends filing paperwork. Laughter again. Bitter. Cutting. "Cadet," Donovan snapped. "Step forward." She moved like a switch had been flipped. No hesitation, no fear. She raised her arm to salute. Her wrist turned. The marks showed. Donovan froze, his eyes locked on them. "What are those?" Blake didn't blink. "My kill count, sir." The room went dead. Breathless. Even the air seemed afraid to move. "Explain," Donovan said, but his voice had dropped, like he already knew. "Operation Raven Shield, Northern Syria," she said, her tone calm and brutal. "Squad ambushed. No communications, no backup. I finished the mission. Extracted 2 wounded, 5 confirmed kills." She paused. "The tally is for them." Donovan's clipboard slipped in his grip. That mission was black level. Top clearance. Only 1 operator came out. She nodded. "Call sign, Echo. That was me." You could have heard a pin drop in a minefield. No one moved, no one spoke. They realized too late. They hadn't been mocking a rookie. They'd been laughing in the face of a ghost. A soldier carved from shadow and fire. A living weapon who didn't need permission to survive. That night, she was called to Donovan's office. No rank. No distance, just truth. He looked at her like he'd seen a ghost, and maybe he had. "I read the after-action report," he said. 12 lives saved. 2 were from this base." She didn't flinch. "Why didn't you say anything?" he asked. Her voice was low. "Because they didn't come back. I did. That's all that matters." Silence, heavy. "Then you're being reassigned. Frontline intel, immediate promotion. You don't just belong here, you define what this place is supposed to be." She saluted. "Yes, sir." As she turned to leave, he stopped her. "Blake." He looked at her wrist again. "I'm sorry, they didn't see you. But now, they will." The next morning, the mess hall fell under a silence heavier than war. She walked in, and every conversation died. Keeley stood up slowly. No jokes, no sarcasm. He looked at her like she wasn't made of flesh anymore, but fire. He nodded. It was all he could do. 1 cadet stood, another stepped aside. A hand reached for her tray, not out of pity, out of reverence. From that moment, she was no longer Cadet Blake. She was Echo. Not a nickname, a warning, a name whispered between barracks and bullet fire. Because real soldiers don't always come with parades or applause. Sometimes they return so quietly, you don't notice the war still clinging to their bones. Sometimes they don't roar. They echo. And that echo, it never fades. Where are you watching from? Drop your country, your city, or just a peace sign if this story hit you deep. And if you believe in soldiers like Echo, the ones who fight in silence, hit that like, smash subscribe, and let the world hear the echo.